Hey, beautiful ladies of Indianapolis, are you looking for a beauty place where you can buy all your latest human hairs and other beauty accessories? Look no more. The MD Beauty Salon, located at 3429 Kentucky Avenue, is just that right spot for all your beauty needs. At MD's, our customers' satisfaction is our foremost priority. Our staffs are friendly and accommodating. Contact us today on 317-360-2624. MD Beauty Salon, your one-stop shop for all your beauty needs. And hey, ladies, when you get there, tell Mariette that the girl is sexy. Hey, beautiful ladies of Indianapolis, are you looking for a beauty place where you can buy all your latest human hairs and other beauty accessories? Look no more. The MD Beauty Salon, located at 3429 Kentucky Avenue, is just that right spot for all your beauty needs. At MD's, our customers' satisfaction is our foremost priority. Our staffs are friendly and accommodating. Contact us today on 317-360-2624. MD Beauty Salon, your one-stop shop for all your beauty needs. And hey, ladies, when you get there, tell Mariette that the girl is sexy. Hey, beautiful ladies of Indianapolis, are you looking for a beauty place where you can buy all your latest human hairs and other beauty accessories? Look no more. The MD Beauty Salon, located at 3429 Kentucky Avenue, is just that right spot for all your beauty needs. At MD's, Our customers' satisfaction is our foremost priority. Our staffs are friendly and accommodating. Contact us today on 317-360-2624. MD Beauty Salon, your one-stop shop for all your beauty needs. And hey, ladies, when you get there, tell Marian that the girl is sexy. Hey, beautiful ladies of Indianapolis, are you looking for a beauty place where you can buy all your latest human hairs and other beauty accessories? Look no more. The MD Beauty Salon, located at 3429 Kentucky Avenue, is just that right spot for all your beauty needs. MDs, our customers' satisfaction is our foremost priority. Our staffs are friendly and accommodating. Contact us today on 317-360-2624. MD Beauty Salon, your one-stop shop for all your beauty needs. And hey, ladies, when you get there, tell Marian that the girl is sincere.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are. Today's another edition of the Logan's Hour, so I'll try to adjust my mic. Okay, so I'm a little better now because I was having a little technical test with my setup, so I have to go back to my old setup, take my old set, and get it ready again. That's the good thing. I had it not too far, so I have to dismantle the whole entire set I was using just now, and get back to my old what's up. But I want to say thank you for your patience. Thanks for hanging on here, and make this place your place. And let's have fun tonight. Let's make this very interactive. Today we will be in conversation with the former president of the Liberian Association of Indiana, Mr. Rufus Tartee. Uh, Yep, Mr. Rufus Tartee is in studio now, and we will love for members of the Liberian community and members of the other places to ask questions that will be necessary for the discussion tonight. And normally when we conducting interviews and whatever here, we normally take more questions from those who follow us. So if you love to ask question to the former president, Mr. Rufus Tartee tonight, he will also be open to answer your questions. And at the end of the day, we're going to open the line to take few calls. But Mr. Tartee will be here to answer your question. All of you who have questions. So tonight I want to say to my beautiful wife, Sama Princess Liwe Hamu Logan, I want to say welcome to the Logan's Hour, my dear sister Vida Duo. Welcome, Mr. Jan Volule. Welcome to the Logan's Hour, your own set area, my dear brother. Precious Logan, Bernice Alpha, the rest of the other people who following us here. I want to say thank you. Sawenda Sama, he always follow us on YouTube as well. He was saying he couldn't hear anything. And John Sanson, welcome all of you here. Today is a very special edition. And we want to say to our former president, Mr. Rufus Tartee, you did your best to serve your community. We want to say thank you. And before we bring the former president in, because I see the former president in studio right now sitting, his background seems like he probably in the U.S. or maybe in Canada. But however, the former president will be here shortly to tell you after presidency what happens. Do life still continue, or are we stagnated? Or where are we? And moving forward, what's his next intention? If possible, we're going to tap into Bunk County a little because it's not no strange things to the Liberian community or to the Liberian people that our former president is trying to venture in the political arena in Liberia, and will be a blessing to us in the Liberian community to see that the former president of the Liberian Association wanting to become the next representative in Bond County, which is a very, 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 very great thing to do. So now I wanted to play the president's speech, Mr. Julius Parker. But what I would do, I would save Mr. Parker's speech for tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to have a real good discussion. We're going to have a high power delegation in time. Tomorrow conversation going to be heated. We're going to have Mr. Sylvanus Pele. We're going to have our sister Bernice Alpha. Then we're going to have Lavito Moba. We're going to have Mr. Jeremiah Chie. We're going to have the tough talking Maurice Guo. We're going to have Ernest Samuel, the invincible. Ernest Samuel going to be in studio. We're going to have who know Tony Oil, Anthony Giffler, the man who can distribute the dry meat and the rare oil. If you want to enjoy your toboggy, contact Tony Oil. He's going to be in studio tomorrow. We're going to have Mr. Jan Volule, the man who don't run for any battle. He have been tested. He have been tried. And he keep fighting. He said he never runs because he know the end justify the means. And we have from the youth side tomorrow, we have Mr. Roland Akwe going to be in studio as well. So tomorrow going to be a good interactive discussions. And trust me, don't miss tomorrow's show, because if you miss tomorrow's show, you'll be missing one of the best show ever in the history of Logan Hours, because tomorrow it's gonna be juicy. Trust me, it's gonna be juicy. And what we're gonna be more juicy is that each speaker will have their time to speak. There will be no lot of interruption. We're going to have everybody marked muted to setting level. And it was beautiful over the weekend. On Saturday, we want to say to all of you guys, congratulations. And I said it the other day, somebody never believed it. I said, Mr. Rawakiri is the 30 years in the government. You can see that you just disgrace everybody high. But however, to you and to the rest of the other people who got elected over the weekend, we want to say thank you so much. And there was a lot of fashion display at this inaugural ball. Hopefully by Friday we have Mr. Peter Howard and his crew. I won't be in studio. They will have to discuss some of the dress code at the inaugural ball. They are fashion police. They will be putting people on the screen and talking about the clothes they wear and talk about the designer clothes they're wearing. So, we will have Peter Howard and his crew will be discussing people that are at the inaugural and the designer where they had on at the inaugural program. So it's going to be a whole good thing to see. We have people in our community that are getting involved with this kind of thing. And trust me, we shouldn't take offense to it, but it's a great thing to have our community and to have people who can come up to programs and say, listen, let's have this little fun show. And let's talk about wearing at the program. Let's talk about people who are at the program. Let's talk about how the march in, how the sitting was looking like. And let's talk about so many other things at the program. So it was beautiful. It was colorful. And members of the Liberian community know what I'm talking about here. And we want to say today is the day for the former president of the Liberian Association. He's going to talk to us about life after the presidency and what his next move. He going to Liberia. He contesting in the election in Bon County. So to those of you who would love to ask more questions today, the former president will be here. You can ask him your question in the comment section. After that, you can also ask the former president your question when we open the line to make some calls. But like I said, most of the pictures you see that we're displaying here, on Friday, Mr. Peter Howard going to be in studio with his crew, and they are the fashion police, and they will be talking about designer wear and talking about the name of the clothes people wearing. So it's going to be a very, 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 very great thing to be here on Friday. So if you're in the Liberian community and you've been looking for used car and where to go and which kind of car you're looking for, listen, your worries are over. Don't go nowhere far. You got your own brother here, Avad and Son, Motor Import. Call him, 317-377-4352. Avad and Son. Call him and get your appointment scheduled. So today, with all due respect, we will not go too much into the inauguration because we have people who will be here tomorrow to talk about the inauguration. So today is the day for the former president of the Liberian community. We have the former president of the Liberian community in studio. So before we can go any further, let's just hear from some of the permanent business people in Liberia who are at the inauguration ball. Let's hear from Mr. Alvin Logan. It was a hectic election.
It was a hectic election, but at least we were able to come together as a community and make it happen. So fortunately, we're here today, and it's going to be a very enjoyable inauguration.
And for the first time, the community have seen unity to their extent, because normally after election, we see the opposing camp, they're all angry and they go and never come back. And for this time around, they have seen total different thing. They are seeing unity and they see the opposing camp coming to embrace the winning camp. How do you feel about that, Mr. Logan?
I think it's very impressive. It's very impressive. We haven't seen this kind of a unity, to be honest. I think the Philip Logan team did extreme work to bring the community back together. You guys did extremely well, coordinating with everybody right after the election, bringing people back on the table, having a welcome party, embracing everybody again. It was a shock to the community, and I think the community applaud the Philip Logan team for doing that, and we also applaud the Parker team for having a peaceful election. And today we have an inauguration, and it will be peaceful and exciting.
Thank you, Mr. Logan.
Thank you, sir.
So this is Mr. Logan. So we have too many of those recording cutes, and we will play them on tomorrow. Tomorrow, like I stated, when we start the discussions, we start from interviews and go to those items that we outlined that we're going to start from. Before we go and before we bring the former chairman in, because I have recordings of everybody else and I have them cute. Let's hear from the chairman of the open table. If you follow the sequence of these recordings, I will repeating just specific questions. Now we are coming together. No opposition, no imposition. How you look at those who got defeated, they are coming to get involved with the community. What do you make of that? That was the question I kept asking everybody that we interview. Let's hear from the chairman.
But I say, what's the chairman of Open Table? The chairman have been one of those people who pushed the agenda of this administration, and he has been so good. How you doing? Chairman have been working behind the scenes. Mr. Chairman, today is a day. How do you feel here today?
It's a good thing that the community is coming out for us to be out here. First of all, it's a good thing to have you here, to see you here. Congratulations to the community. But I knew that you are an honorable man, and you was going to honor this occasion with your presence here today. So it's a good thing to have you here. It's also a good thing to have this community here, out here, because this thing is about community. If the community is doing well, every one of us, eventually we are doing well, because we have kids in this community and we have friends and loved ones and family. So it's a good thing for us to be here.
So, Mr. Salim, looking at the path that we are on right now and seeing the opposing camp after election coming to embrace the camp that won the election, where do you see us? Do you see us on the path of unity, or what do you see here at this meeting?
Oh, that is a bold statement on the part of the opposition. For now, we are not an opposition, but going back to the elections that we just held and how we ran the campaign, to see the opposing side here today embracing this inauguration, it's a testament to the leadership of the opposing side, and you impressing because you were the stand-up bearer on that ticket, and the fact that you have guys around you, or people that will support you, that bought into your ideas to come over here today, shows some unity, shows togetherness, and I hope that we can learn from your good example and your team good example too.
How about this one reapply?
It's a pleasure always.
3 months vacation.
Yes, that's fine. I'm an incoming chairman of Team Logan. We have to shake some things up, and we'll do things in the next 3 years.
Thank you so much,
Mr.
So that's the chairman of the Open Table, Mr. Jose Aziki Zaka Sele. So as I stated, I have recording of Jima Famula, I have recording of Jeremiah Sele, the vice president, Mr. Richard Bouya, and Mr. J. Joshua K. Power Sr., Mr. Pachibo, and the rest of the other community members. So what we're going to do, because we do not have the luxury of time today, we have the former president in studio. We're just going to go to the former president discussions. Then we will do that maybe tomorrow's show, or maybe when the Fashion Police comes here on Friday, they will go through all of these recordings and pictures as well. So with all due respect, we want to say to you today, thank you for joining Logan's Hour. Today we have one of the son of this soul, Mr. Rufus Tartee, the former president of the Liberian Association of Indiana. You all know him. And I want to say to my friend Didier, what's up? What's up? What's up? And my friend Adibayo, what's up as well? So if you don't know who is Mr. Rufus Tartee, for some of you who don't know Mr. Rufus Tartee, July 26th, the man who you saw in all over blue dancing with the bull chair and the secretary of the bull. So this is Mr. Rufus Tartee. All right, so that's a former president in all over blue. The man can dance. Trust me, the man can dance. I said the man dancing till they going inaugural. I said, Mr. Rufus Tartee, you still got your leg juice, my man. The only thing I want when you win that election in Bon County, we're going all the way there for the celebration. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have your question, put your question in the comment section for now. And yes, the Fashion Police night will be on Friday, Peter Howard, except you want to change that. But Friday night, you're going to do your Fashion Police. So, thank you, Peter Howard. Peter Howard will be here. He had his people then that will be in studio and doing their thing. I will not be in studio on Friday. It will just be Peter Howard and his crew. So you're going to be Friday night according to Peter Howard. So Friday night you can tune in and you'll see somebody bleeding at the inaugural ball. If somebody bleeding made sense, if somebody bleeding ain't made sense, Peter Howard going to pull people on the screen the clothes that you wear, where you bought it from, and which designer you're wearing, and all the blading we saw at the program. So Peter Howard going to be discussing blading. And breaking news, some of you who thought that my sister and myself we fell apart, we are more closer again. You see, we can fall down, we get up, fall down, we get up. One part, let my bin I love business. So that it. All right. So we're gonna bring Mr. Rufus Tartee in studio. Former President Rufus Clark. Oh, your wife named Clark.
That's all right.
How you doing, Chief? How you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you very much, Phil. Thank you.
Man, I said the bunk and they put in was messing with my other microphone. It couldn't wear just doing hello. It couldn't wear dismantle. It couldn't connect the other one. How you doing today, sir?
Good evening.
Yeah, I know that's Liberian. I can tell from the internet. So you say good evening, I know what's up, I know where you are. So so let's just make it fast because somebody told me the other day that Liberian internet do not hold for too long. It allow you to go for 20 minutes and take a break for a little while and come out for 20 minutes as well. So just for our audience and not for you to keep going off and coming back on, would you ask you formally to introduce yourself again to your people?
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, Indiana, and almost good morning here in Liberia at 5 to 12 midnight. Thank you very much, Phil, for bringing us on again today to have the opportunity to at least interact with our community. Again, like you stated earlier, I'm the outgoing president of the Liberian community, a community that I dearly love, and I will always be around to serve my people anytime they need me. And I wish his government success. Like I told the president, I'm here anytime he needs me. I will be around to assist in any capacity that I can. But thank you very much for bringing us on tonight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rufus Tartee, and we are happy again to have you after the presidency. You're in Liberia and stay able to join us tonight, so that's a very great thing. And we want to say to your crew, all of those who served before this administration, we want to say a very big thank you to all of them because we know to serve your community is not an easy thing, especially a voluntary job where you're not being paid for. Sometimes people talk down on you, but you just have to do what you have to do. So at this time, we want to say a very big thank you to you and your team for maintaining this community and turning it over. At least we have a succession, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
So, Mr. President, let's just hit the ball rolling because we know your internet right now may not serve you too well. How's life after the presidency?
It's okay. I miss the service. There are a lot of challenges. And some of us like to be challenged. But now we focusing mostly on family and other personal activities, which is also a challenging times for us. And but we are happy that we are able to serve under some very difficult circumstances. As you may be aware, the COVID and all of that took much of, but we're still able to do our best. And I want to say thanks to the Liberian community and, like you said, all those who serve us or serve with us in making sure that we have a successful turnover. And of course, leaving our community in one of the most, in one of the best financial shape ever experienced in our community. So I want to say thanks to the Liberian people and to all of you, who made it possible.
Thank you so much, Mr. Former President. So, do you still miss the presidency?
I miss the service. It doesn't necessarily have to be the presidency, but serving is a call for me, and I would miss it for some time. But I know I will always be around, and I always try to, make sure that I can do anything, in my community or outside my community to serve. I love to serve, and I hate serving, and I always like to be in a position, that those challenges will come about, in performing those duties that will be required of us. So yes, I miss it, and I will miss it. But like I said, we have other, national engagement that right now we are pursuing. Something that Barry will talk about a little bit.
Yeah, we will get to Bon County a little bit as well. Yeah, we will get to Bon County a little bit. So, can you stay hear me? I'll tell you.
I hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay, because your image is frozen, so that's why I just want to be sure. Yeah, so people in the Liberian community, you following. Look at Peter Howard. Peter Howard said, Mr. Tartee is a rich man after 3 years. So, us in the Liberian community, we are in conversation with the former president of the Liberian Association of Indiana, Mr. Rufus Tartee. And Mr. Rufus Tartee clearly stated that, yeah, he missed the service. He says it's an honorable thing to serve you, the Liberian people who live in this community. So, Mr. Tartee, let's just go straight to it, because the very time we scheduled the interview, we put your flyers out, and there were calls from everywhere, people coming in with some questions that they will want to ask you, and some other people probably they might call to ask those specific questions. Tell us something about the community 501c3, because that's one of the specific questions somebody called me to talk about. They say, we want to know what about this 501c3? What was the negotiation that even this new administration cannot have access to it? What about this 501c3?
Well, this 501c3 has a history of the community losing it during subsequent administration.
Mm-hmm.
So as a responsible, leader, when we had to study why is it that we have always lost our 501c3, and to get it back, it's not just $500. It cost us I think almost $3,000 to get it back, but we spent less than that. And so we got to know after our investigation that the reason why we have been losing the 501c3 is because, one, we never had a permanent address. Mm-hmm. So Rufus Tartee became president. All the mail for the association go to his house. When he leaves, the president said those mails probably will not be no more important to him. Mm-hmm. Or like sometimes we have a very bitter, transition. The incumbent probably don't want to deal with you, and those mail come to your house, and probably just, start brush it. And so because of that, the state writes you and asks you why you are not filed and you don't reply, they revoke. And another issue was we never had anybody who could be responsible to keep eye on this 501c3 by making sure that people who want to use it, as well when you contribute, if you want to use it, you can get and use it. So we wanted to make sure that we have an eye on it and we have a grip on it, so that even if we use it, we don't use it, we should still carry on the requirements that the government need or the state need by filing our taxes. Okay. So as a responsible government, we had a discussion among ourselves and also the board. So I asked one of the board members who had an idea on this whole 501c3, which is Amula, to have an oversight on a particular aspect of the leadership, when it comes to the 501c3. So I over to him and say, hey, we want you to have oversight, make sure that the association, we continue to file on the year end or when it is necessary. And I think a couple of days ago, I saw him posting in the chat room that, look, if you want to claim your taxes on your dues payment, you can, click on this link, or, and you can claim your dues. Your due payment is also a tax deductible or something like that.
We will get to that. I think people have issue with that as well. People have issue with that.
All right. So it was my own way of protecting the Liberian Association 501c3. Now, government comes and go. People. So it was nothing that we were doing that was dubious. All was done to make sure that 501c was protected. And those are public records. You can go there and check. If people have used it, you will know. People have filed, you will know. So for my administration, I believe that we did that with good conscience, and we did that to protect our 501c3. This is why today we still have it. I think this government is also going to take over. And, whatever they decide to do, I know they have a lot of people who probably have idea on tax, on filing taxes. It's something that get it from the board and take over. So
And
nothing secret.
And there were close of a few people from the community who said that your administration was in power with the very time you had a community office, so it took you, I think, close to a year before you turned over power. So why the 501c3 couldn't have been in the administration or the area actual address instead of being in an individual address?
Okay, and that is thank you. So how did we get a 501c3 back? That's the first thing we have to understand. Volunteer, because we have gone to tax services, and like I said, one tax institution was charging us $3,500 plus. And, we started contacting the community members. There was a point that somebody said we are going to the catalyst services. They can render these services, and a whole lot of suggestions were made. But then somebody said, but Dr. Family has an idea on this tax issue, and I asked him. He said, okay, my son, I will see what I can do, and even at the time when he was helping us, we wanted to make it public. He said, no, this is just a service that I want to give. I don't want no payment from you guys. Matter of fact, he personally he personally volunteered to underwrite the costs to pay him later. He said, let me get it first, and then you guys can pay me later. So yes, he from the expensive on the tax issue. And when you file the tax information have to come to you as an individual or the institution that is doing it. So for an individual, not just an individual, but also member of the administration. We didn't get taken and put in a Joe Blow here. That the family is member of the board. And if anything goes wrong with the tax issue, the board is accountable to the community, just how the leadership is accountable to the community. So,
sure, but the people concerned, why it say that it's not in Fairfax South Avenue address instead of being in his personal address?
Well, at the time you are filing, probably that was the excuse, because at the time, just obtained our office and everything was gradually moving. It was almost like simultaneously it was moving. So why taking him to do that? We're still running after the office issue and all of that. So now, look, I don't think this will even be a big question or something to go back and forth with. We have a new administration. They want to change the address. It's easy. Go get it. Change the address. Now, if you say something mischievous was done to the 501c, then that's when we have to start investigating if something was done. But if you're saying because the address was not at the office, it's easy. Get it and change the address. Whatever address you want to, have it going to, let it go. The only thing I did was, look, I had 3 years. This 3 years, we have fought hard to get it. So I would do everything in my power to make sure that it is protected, and I will turn it over to the next government. We have turned over everything, and that was one of the things. And that the family is member of the board. So he stay in power right now. I'm gone, but he stayed there. So the new government can go there and talk with him. If they want to audit the tax 501c3, they can go ahead and audit it. So I don't see the reason why people say, why is in somebody's address? If I had gone to file for it, probably if I go in my address, because one, if you're filing, you're using your credit card. LA, I don't have a credit card. We have to use somebody's credit card to get it to do it. And so your credit card have to match the address at which the tax paper would come. So probably maybe these were some of the things that that the family had to use as an address. Like I said, it's no big deal. I don't think except somebody says something went wrong with it, then of course questions can be asked.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tartee. So we are in conversation with the former president of the Liberian Association of Indiana. So if you're just joining us, we are on a Logan's hour. So we will be back in 3 seconds. All right. Thank you again. We are back. Bear with me and bear with the former president because that's where he found himself right now in Liberia, and the internet kind of fluctuates at times. So I think I'm experiencing my camera moving slow, so it's not a problem. So, Mr. President, let's go to the hard one. I know this might not be a little hard question for you because you have been there and you served this community for 3 years. And now we have the Pacos Boya administration. And from the look of things, it shows that you set a very great foundation that it can build on and move with a smooth turnover. So, do you care to tell us what specific policies you put into place that can help Pacos Boya to move this community forward?
Well, some of the things that were done, it was not a policy issue. It was just administrative things that we did administratively.
Okay.
And we have lived around a little bit in our community, and we know how elections are in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes elections become so much brutal, it's because of the interference of the incumbents, or the leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things we did for the elections, I called all of my staff and I told them, I said, hey, look, I'm not saying, you can't vote for anybody you want to vote for, but look, we have, especially the elected officials, I told them we have to stay out of the politics. But if anybody from among us decide to run, I guarantee you that I personally will, declare my support for that person. I was looking at my vice president at the time to run, or anybody from the administration to run. Now, unfortunately, none of them, participated. So at that time, we decided that, look, as elected officials, we will stay out of the politics of the community because none of us wanted to, to vie for any public position.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to stay out of the politics. And now you can see we were accused from both sides. I was supporting this person and I'm supporting that person. But, it's all said and gone. And I, talked to Mr. Paco and said, look, this is the secret of where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
Individual coming from your government want to run, yeah, you have the right to say, yeah, you support that person. But when you have people from outside the government who are running, you have to try to be as neutral as possible and do not interfere because you will vote anyway. But when you get involved in the politics, like what happened during our time, we saw, at the time the president was, publicly campaigning after he have, even come to me asking to run, and then he left, he went for another candidate, and he was publicly campaigning. He even forgot about his administrative duties and became a campaigner, open campaigner. So that was some of the secret from our end that we decided to stay out of the whole politics. And so I think that was just one of the secrets that may also be where we are today.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Tartee. So those of you following us, if you love to ask the former president any question, you can put your question in the comment section, or you can wait 30 minutes to the end of the show. We will open the line to have some questions to the president. So, Mr. President, like I stated, right? Normally, when you're having these kind of interviews, people will call and ask questions. People will maybe sometimes when they see the flyers, they will send personal messages about their own question because they don't want to be seen publicly. So, now you are out, and there are in some corners people say that even it was being heard during the election that Rufus Tartee administration did nothing, and in fact Rufus Tartee administration were in power for 3 years. There's nothing we can see. So do you care to summarize some of your achievement? I know you appear on the show before, you said something like that, but for the sake of this program, do you care to summarize some of your achievements?
Yeah. I don't know when will your next visit be at the headquarters of the community. What we did, we made a plaque with all the past president and past vice president on that plaque.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the first group of people that served this community.
Mm-hmm.
President for 2 consecutive times. There were things that I thought was necessary for our community.
Okay.
The community was still young. We didn't have the population, and so those things were not able to be put in place. So when we became president, there were a lot of lapses. The same thing again. We come back to the 501c3, the Secretary of State registration. These were things that were going to people's personal addresses. Either the Secretary General house or maybe the President house. So when you take over, sometimes there was point in time that even the association they were not existing because we're not even registered with the state again. You know where to start from. Nobody know when the last payment was made. All of that. So we observe all of these things and we said, look, the only way we can, move this community forward, first of all, we need to have a home. Okay, we went ahead and got a place where there's an auditorium available, an office, and of course a conference hall. We were able to restore our 501c3. We were able to put in a sound fiscal financial management team in place to make sure that the Liberian people money was guarded. And then we were able to open a food pantry. And there were a lot of things that were done. Again, we will not stand here and blow our own horn. I think history will judge us. And those who say we didn't do nothing, yes, whether it was political or they meant what they said, it's up to them. But the Liberian people have seen what we have done. And I think this administration, it may not be this year, it will not be next year, but subsequent time to come, I think we'll be graded as one of the best and most successful administration ever that have, led this Liberian community.
One of the best and one of the most successful administration ever led the Liberian community. I like that. So, Mr. Tony Gifler following us, he also asked this question. Mr. Gifler question is, why was the 501c document not included in the documents turned over during the turnover ceremony?
I don't know whether Tony has an authority to know what was turned over, what was not turned over, because I know he's not an elected official, but the election official knows that. Look, we don't keep documents to our house. They said 501c3 is in the office of the Liberian Association.
Oh, my word. Oh, LDC BF, you that? Oh, go ahead. Oh, call me.
But the certificate of the 501c3 is in the office. Is in the administration have now come back to us and say, hey, we're looking for social document. We didn't see it. Where is it? So again, I don't know what's Mr. Tony's position in this administration, but I don't think we have any issue of documentation when it comes to the 501c3. It's in the office.
So during your turnover ceremony, was the 501c3 document turned over?
All of the documents of the association was turned over.
All right. So Mr. Tony Gifler, you heard that. He said all documents were turned over to the administration. All right. So another question here is that they want to go straight to financial issue now, because we will touch on other issues, but let's talk about financial issue a little. So your administration, your Rufus Tartee administration, the beginning bank balance before it was $24,119.79. Dues deposited were $31,946. Excess from the EC, it was $240.51. That amounted to $31,186.51. Subtotal was $56,306.29. So all of these, and come to the expense, the election commissioner $1,960 ticket and blah 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 search, and come all the way here. So the total that your administration turned over, the total expense were $5,124.08, and the total bank balance that you turn over to the Parkers administration $51,182.21. So all the money we generated, was there any money generated from anything extra other than just dues collections? You are frozen. Oh, Liberian internet. Please bring our president back. Mr. Tartee, can you hear me? All right. So while the president, internet is frozen, and I think he's going to come back on. But don't forget, we in December. You may say you're in January. If you're looking for a way to do your tax, we have our dear brother and friend here, Savasin Daba. So Savasin telling you do your tax return, bookkeeping, whatever you want to notarize. Call his number. It's 317-332-2975. Book an appointment. Appointment only. The address is 3429 Kentucky Avenue, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46221. So we have been joined by the former president. Mr. President, you heard me?
You can go over the financial thing again, was switching power.
Oh, yeah, switching power. So my question to you was, all right, you already know how much data you turn over. So you people turn over $51,182.21 to the administration. So my question to you was, all of that money turned over to the new administration. Was there any other way you people generate their funds other than generating funds from just dues payment and registration when it comes to the electioneering processes? Were there any other means you people use to generate funds? I understand COVID was a factor into this as well.
All right, look, first of all, what the people need to understand, the community need to understand, we took over with what, 24,000. At 24,000, all subsequent programs that we have, whether it was inaugural ball, whether it was Valentine's Day program, but all of those programs that the Constitution requires that we should, carry out. It was that $24,000 we're working in. There were times that yes, we made a little profit. There were times there were no profit made. There were times we took loss. I think we even partnered with the Young Men Group at one point in time.
Yeah.
And then that program, it was not successful, financially the way we expected it to be. Now, so if you look at the fiscal policy we put in place, that the base amount that we had, we were able to maintain it and manage it so that we did not go, there was no deficit. We didn't go below, that amount that we had in our account. So basically being used there, most of it was just
the people are calling it before the president. Now you got to stop, man. Stop calling the president. The president trying to make the Liberian people understand. Go ahead, Mr. President.
Don't call me direct, call the Logan show. So so that balance are always there. So if you follow the track record of the financial reports that were always given, and I always say, look, we didn't do programs that were not constitutionally mandated by us. And so constitutional program, whether we make profit or don't make profit, the constitution at those programs should go on. So we had to do it. And I always said the best we can do is to try to break evens on those programs. So before you had your due payments and all of that, the balance that are always maintained. But yeah, we're having programs and make
the person I call him Mr. Tartee, real won't get him in hard time.
Yeah, I know. So we're always making sure that our balance is always maintained. And even if we having programs, those programs should be programs that at least will be able to break even. So I mean, they can go back again, like I said, we open to audit, go back, look at our deposits, our withdrawals. I think this government is one of the first government to even, give you live picture of, your financial statement. We have shown you bank account statements. So these things can be pretty. 3 years bank account statement is easy. So you'll see your deposits and withdrawals. So when it comes to the finance thing, I am not so much okra with financial thing. Again, probably if, they can get the financial data to come up there, they can do that. But what I hate is speculations, the best we can do. And like I said, and I challenge this bull, because the bull has, I challenge this bull before they leave. I challenge them to audit us. I know there was a time that, we accused Prophet Key that we took money from the state and all of that.
Yeah.
And the bull requested that he wanted to see our financial statement. We had to go financial statement for almost 6 months and took it to the bull to see where deposits were made, where donations were made. If they still wrote that B check that they were talking about, we couldn't cash it. I couldn't go to my account and cash it. I had to go to the LI account to cash it. So these people who were accusing us, some of them now in power, they can go and print all the financial record for the last 3 years and go, or they can go back, 6 years. The having government can be audited. We can be audited. Thank God, Parker, he's the president now. So they can, and I encourage this government to audit, because you can't be running a 401 not-for-profit organization. There is now one audit on file for LAI. So we need to conduct an audit. And audit are not meant to say you want to get somebody stealing or not. I think it's something that is mandated by, the state of, that every responsible organization should have some form of audit. You can't just, turn over a piece of paper to people and they say at the end of it, no. So this government will learn from some of the mistakes we made. And, and subsequent government will learn from some of the mistakes, that other government have made in the past. So we are open to audit, and I challenge, the board to make sure they audit before they can leave office.
Thank you so much for that question. So, Fatima Siama says, shout out to the people who sending me the question. So, those of you who sending me the question, I want to say, what's up to you guys? You guys are doing an excellent job, and I appreciate it. Fatima, you're so funny. Okay, so, Mr. President, let's hit this ground with this new administration. So, right now, you have passed on the pardon to the Packers and the Boya administration. And we see from the look of things, we see that they are in the right direction, except maybe they might get distracted later on if they're not working together. But for now, what we are seeing from the community turnout to the inaugural ball, and so far we haven't seen the work yet. So we look forward to seeing the work, according to what the president stated in his inaugural speech, that there are more to be done. There are more work they have coming up, and he will subsequently give us some updates. And just from the little time you have seen this community, and I can rest assured you, I can give you that credit, because that might be your work, because you did an excellent job to hold the community together in a way that those people who felt at the time they couldn't work along with the administration, but you still give them the right to hang out, to have their community, to enjoy their community. So looking at the peace that we are enjoying now, the unity that we are enjoying now, what is your specific advice to the new administration as to dealing with the people of this community?
Look, the people, when you are leading people, you have to lead by example. And I want this administration, first of all, to know that this is a Liberian community. A lot of things, people have said. Some are not members of the administration, but yes, probably they got ES. The administration have their ES. That there will be a Liberian association and there will be a Liberian community.
Okay.
If we decide to lead from that point, I can see failure coming. That you will tell me, well, I can't wait Jane Trousers to come to your program because it is a Liberian Association program and not a Liberian community program. You will didn't remember, even though this guy does not go to your meeting, but he's bereaved, and you telling me, say, oh no, we're not going to even say extend sympathy to you because you are a community member and not a member of the Liberian Association. They have their own style of leading. People have sat on the side, they have seen maybe these are some of the things that they want to get in power to correct, or probably get the administration here to correct. I don't know. But I think those are some things that are divisive. Liberians are Liberians. Whether the man is member of your association, as you may call it, we're not running some kind of professional club here, where you say so nice can be part of. No. We're not running, some gentleman club, and say, when a gentleman see member, when you can pay attention to. No. One library, right? The community should be involved. The association should be involved. And so I will encourage the administration, especially the president, to make sure that those advices, people are giving him, he have to take his own time too to adjust. To digest some of these things, because sooner or later, we're not going to have no more inaugural ball again. There will be no time again that we'll have a program, and the turnout we saw on last Saturday, we see that turnout again. It's done. We will never be able to see Liberians gather again in a mass like we saw on Saturday. And so, imagine those people they were not Liberian Association members; they were Liberians that turned out. Now, if you want to, run the association and say association and then community. Now, if you have your program and community, people say, well, we're not part of the association, we're not going there. You know what it means? So those who are seeing these things are divisive. And for us, we didn't care. There was a time when somebody is bereaved, people call, but the person is not a member of the association, so why are you going there? Traditionally, when you bereave, we all go there and sympathize with you. So we are able to, lead from across the aisle. We went all over. We didn't sit there and say, because this person, they now support us, and so something happening his family or to his family, we're not going to go there. We reach all out. And so it is a community thing. And so everybody should be involved. Yesterday, you didn't support Rufus, but you supported this guy. So we are saying only people who are part of the association that we pay attention to. These people today that supported us or supported this government, probably are not going to come on board. So as long as you are Liberian, this association belongs to all of us. And people should not say we will be having a Liberian association or have community. You can't do that. It's wrong. And I hope that the administration will not listen to people who will bring those kind of ideas about.
All right. So in short, if the administration hosting the program, everybody should just go in whatever way they feel pleases, or they can what they have on.
I don't think a dress code. Now, if it is nothing in the Constitution that addresses dress code, right? And so, if it is a policy, because sometimes governments come up with policy. Is it a policy issue and they say, well, do wear short skirt be above your knee? That's what they want. Fine. Or do wear jeans trousers to the program, and the community go to meeting and say that what they want, fine. But we have to, if you say, look, you want to make it amended and say a dress code should be certain way, again, you can push it in the Constitution or make it a policy. So if I don't have the code to come to the party and I want to jean trousers, it means I probably will not come. But I don't think, I have gone to a lot of Liberian programs. Whether you wear jeans, not wearing jeans, I have not seen Liberians go to their program, half naked, maybe the pants on their knees or, cracks all showing, all of that. I don't see any, but again, some people feel that, certain people dress certain way before they go to certain programs. Well, again, if it is a policy issue for them and this is how the administration want to, it's up to them. But I wouldn't have stopped anybody and say, well, you have to wear 3-piece suit before you can come to this program. Or you can't wear jean trousers to come. Some of the jean trousers these guys wear expensive more than your coat suits anyway.
Yeah.
So,
but in some people following might say you are right for that because the goal was to generate funds. So once the person have their good intake, they can go have fun as well. But that's a nice recommendation too. Go ahead.
Look, it shouldn't even be something that you should be telling people how to dress to come to certain place. Look at the ball. This was an elegant event. You understand that? No went to that ball, not fully dressed. People knew, that they were going to a ball and they know what a ball is. So they neatly dressed. All right. Nobody had to tell them what to wear. But if you say we're going to the park or maybe we're having some extraordinary program or something like that, and so people will dress according to the occasion. Period. So nobody told people say all the women are saying after their dresses are dragging. Nobody could tell you, say, okay, don't wear skirt above your knee or, do your jean trousers should not come below your waistband or something like that. No. Nobody told them. Everybody wore their, coat suit, neatly dressed. They wear nicely, put together attire. So, I don't think We should be telling people what to wear. If I come into your house party, I come into that your house party. Or maybe a professional organization or professional grouping having something and they say, this is how we want you to come to our party, fine. But we shouldn't do things to push Liberians away. You can't do that.
That's a good one. So, Mr. President, let's go directly to the president's speech. President Julius Parker. I tell you what, in the hall, you listen to President Julius Parker's speech. And he listed so many things that his administration has been, they have been back on. So far, he named some of their achievements since they took power. He named, they have set up a Facebook page for the organization. They have also created a Twitter account. And in subsequent time, they're coming up with, I don't know what other page again. He said they have more in store to come. So from the president spoke about bringing the young people together, talking about the end of the, and key on that, I want you to address, the president talked about getting a hall for the Liberian people to have activities. Getting a hall, is that a real challenge? Because I saw you were in power for 3 years and you were unable to maintain or to get a hall for the Liberian people. Do you think it's an easy venture for this incoming administration?
This is something that every administration always dream about. But Liberian community, when it comes to the way we support, our own, and how many programs we have. Getting a hall right now will be a challenge for us, especially to maintain it. Because even the office we have right now, if that people have a low program, go to the place, it's free. People that part of the thing for the community to enjoy. You're paying your dues, and your dues is paying for this place. You want to hire a baby shower, you don't have to go to all event or rent. That's a Liberian own thing, yeah, of course. But this is a free place. Come, people had to go there. And again, maybe it's because of the administration. And so people feel that our Rufus Tartee administration, I don't want to use the hall. You understand? Or I don't want to use the conference room.
It's true.
So you go and get a hall right now. And again, that hall, I don't know how it's going to be like, what kind of arrangements going to be made. Whether individuals will have to put their, access online for it. I don't know how is it going to happen. I don't know how it works. Well, we all want a hall, right? But we should be able to it properly and make sure that if we get a hall, what would be the benefit for us? Can we maintain it? Are we going to have to come and rent this out? Because before you start thinking about the outsider, you have to start thinking about the Liberians, And I know how sometimes, Liberians behave. They may not let Paco, and because of Paco government, they say they're not going to the hall. And they may not let the next government, they say, we're not like you, we're not going to the hall. So it's a gradual process. It's something that needs to be looked at. So I would advise that, look, we should put a committee together that will all issue and come with a report to the community and tell us, say, look, these are the pros and these are the cons. And if we decide to say, look, it's something that is beneficial to us, we can do it, then we go for it. But we should be very careful when it comes to trying to find a hall right now. You talk about all of the,
achievements. Yeah.
It's a good thing, Twitter and everything. We had a Facebook. The last government, they refused to turn over the Facebook to us. When we asked them, everybody said they didn't have the password. When you ask the other person, they're not all creative, they're not awesome. So we forgot about Facebook business. And so now that they're getting an LAR Facebook, it's a good thing. So a Twitter account, that's a good thing. So at least we have multiple platforms now, where we can go on to interact with each other in our community.
So let's talk about the whole issue again, because I think it has been the discussions all during the campaign and after the campaign, it stayed on the table. And I spoke to somebody who close to the president, who wind down with the president during the inaugural program. We met in the restaurant, and the president said that, the president said to me that they have already secured a hall, and the hall is on the south side. And I just heard you talking something that make a lot of sense. that we should first of all do the cost benefit analysis, set a committee who will go about and see what we can get a hall and see if we get a hall, how beneficial the hall going to be to the Liberian people, how we're going to generate funds if we have this hall instead of just paying rent and we cannot get anything back. So when it comes to the hall issue, if you have any advice for the administration, what would be that specific advice that you love to give the administration before they can proceed in that venture?
Take your time.
Mm-hmm.
We got 3 years. Again, the cost benefit analysis should be done. A committee can be set up from all, across the community.
Mm-hmm.
Young, old people who have owned property before. And I know, for example, Mrs. Etta Kumba.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These are people that you need to bring on board. Ask them how these things work. Again, maybe the president who has an idea or people close to him have an idea. So, but we should engage the community. Let's have a debate. Again, on your show can be a good place to have this debate, these public debates. And then, we can go from there. So I will ask the president, to take his time to make sure that there's a debate held on this issue so that we will know whether, we'll be able to maintain it. Because not like the office where you pay $150. Hall probably will cost you maybe 1,000 plus or 2. We don't know. And so if we have to spend that money every month and you're not having program, I don't know how we're going to maintain it. So these are debates that we need to really go about and have among ourselves. Now, people that had hall before in our community, they lost it. What happened? How did it happen? We should have those debates before we can even start thinking about purchasing our own place.
Okay, that's a good one, Mr. Tartee. So we are in conversation with Mr. Rufus Tartee, the former president of the Liberian Association of Indiana, and now he's in Bond County. So we're going to look forward to asking him 2 more questions. Then we'll go straight into Bond County discussion. So some of you who follow ask the president specific question, you can also put your question up. We will ask the president your question, or you can better hold your peace. So we will be back in a split second. Thank you. All right, again, we are here. Thank you for joining us. And those of you who just coming on, we want to say to all of our friends, we want to say Deborah, Emma, Prince Bono, the ambassador, Logan, our princess, Tutu McCarthy, G Consistent Morris, Brandy Alpha, Tali Voka, Fatih Famule, and the rest of you following us here. I see my brother and friend Peter Howard and everybody is. So I have a call coming in. Let's just hear from the person and let's see what the caller say here. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Make your contribution.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. President, former President.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, this is Maurice Go, community consistent.
Okay, go ahead.
I get simple question post for you. I just want to know the current administration, if they listen, they can also get some idea from you. Yeah, I want to know at the beginning of the administration, what was the big challenge that you faced? And at the end of the administration, what was your big challenge that you faced? Because anything you do at the beginning and the end, these are the 2 challenges that people face. So I want to know at the beginning and at the end, what was the challenges that you faced? Thank you very much.
Okay, that was the voice of G Consistent Morris Guo. So his question is, at the beginning of your administration, your challenges, and at the end of your administration, what were those challenges that you face?
Well, at the beginning of our administration, we had a very divided community. Later, after a very bitter election, community was divided. And so I did a analysis on why the community was so bitter, why the community was so divided. And we got to know because of the elections, and we got to know the role that individual played, especially members of the administration at the time. And so we guided ourselves against, having the same issue, probably, for this administration. So, like I said from the beginning of the show, we decided to stay out of, the party politics and concentrated on making sure that we have an election commission that will be able to navigate us through this process. We wanted to we have a fair, and peaceful election, and we also wanted to make sure that we have a smooth transition, and we wanted to make sure that those who probably from the beginning of our administration that were not with us all the way to the end, so that they can see that, even though this government is gone, but they hope that they lost maybe in us, they should regain that hope in this new government. And from all in, we have seen a lot of people who were out there, they never came to our program one day. Today, they're in positions in this government, which is a good thing. So I think the beginning was tough. I always like to, give this analysis of a takeoff and a touchdown. Those are the two difficult times, for those of you who fly when the plane ready to touchdown. So we're able to navigate our way, through and make sure we landed the community safely. And I always tell Paco, in private, I say, hey, Paco, the people will not remember us for the millions of dollars we will leave, or for the hall that we buy, or the house we will buy. Those things they will not remember us for it. But the only thing they will remember you for is what kind of community you left for them. And again, I always tell people, do not tell us thank you for the money. The money can be used today, it will be gone. The building, we can lose it today, it will be gone.
Just a
But
second, the president speaking.
the peace that the community have right now is what I'm happy about. And I want to say thanks to Parker. Parker brought a lot of young people. The other night when you're calling his committee members, I mean, so these people are on board, and we hope that it will work, let it come and serve their community. So I'm very impressed with the number of young people.
Okay, Mr. President, just a second. Okay, caller one, go ahead. Peter Howard, hold on. Caller one, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. President, just a second. Okay, caller one, go ahead.
You gotta mute your phone. Okay, Peter Howard, go ahead. Caller one, stay on hold.
First off, Mr. President, former President Mr. Tartee, I want to take this time to appreciate you and say thank you for your great service for the past 3 years and giving some of our opportunity to showcase our talent and to special Peter Kitchen to sell drivers in the community. That was amazing. And my question is, when you turn over power, or when your financial secretary turn over all the funds, it was rumors in the community that you guys have 8,000 plus left. So can you put this rumor to rest? Where is the 8,000, or how was it spent, or who have it, or no 8,000? Can you put this rumor to rest, please?
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
The rumors can be quashed, and I think that.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, go ahead. The second question, Mr. President, you record the first question. Go ahead, caller.
But when I'm finished. Hello.
Sorry, can you hear me? Don't listen to the radio. When you listen to the radio or your TV, it will have a delay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hi. How are you?
Mr. President, she's speaking to you. The president said he's okay.
Okay. Again, my question for the former president, it was during your administration, it was a lot that happened. As far as unity, understand that the inauguration ball, it brought a lot of people out. People that came out that did not come out during your term. What advice do you have for this new administration that is now here? And what advice do you have for the community? Like things that happened previously, moving forward, what advice that you could stick with to advise your people as far as unity?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Logan, our princess, Tutu McCarthy. Go ahead, Mr. President. So you have two questions. Peter Howard said there are tons of people in the street. They're saying that your administration left 8,000 in the account. That's why your administration left. But the 51 or 51,000 is just a charade on paper. But in actuality, it's just 8,000 that they met in the account. And Tutu Princess McCarthy, looking at our princess, asking you about what advice do you have for people, because during your tenure when you call program, it was never well attended as to this gone inaugural ball. So what advice do you have, and what do you think what's the problem at the time?
All right, I will start with it. I will start with the latter.
Okay,
look,
go ahead.
Your community is your community. If you stay in Indiana and decide to say you don't want to be battled with your community, if you want to go to Philadelphia every year to go celebrate Christmas with them or July 26th with them, it's up to you. If you don't make your community work for you, nobody will make it work for you. When we took over, like I said, there was a bitter elections. People went their way and all of that. If no program had ever been boycotted in that community on our leadership, our programs were boycotted. The night of our inaugural ball, they were having a patio party. And like I said, even the former president at the time, in fact, he called a party, you were there, So that unity, even to say, okay, you know what, it is over. Let me lead. I'm a former president. Let me lead. Let me go to this program. Let me take my people there so that we can unify our community. It didn't happen. Some people did not speak to us up to today. But the night of the inaugural ball, people spoke to us, which was a good thing. Things have changed. And again, like I said, so some people were sitting on the fence and say, you know what, we're not going there because they will fail. And so they sat down to wait and see for us to fail. Whether we fail or we didn't fail, I don't know, because they will be able to judge us now. But they have seen a government that they got hope in our community. They have seen a government that they think will be able to unify the community.
Say the president answer the two questions, answer your call, shut your call you back. Yeah,
I've had a smooth transition and all of that. You know what? I think our good. I think we need to be part of this process. If we can have a peaceful transition like this, I think the process. And so they are coming back on board. What I advise all Liberians is, look, love your community, love each other, be your brother's keeper. The politics will come and go. And if no politician in this community have been well behaved, I will give it up to you, Mr. Logan. Look, you did exceptionally well. And one thing about Liberian, they don't praise you your president, they praise you behind, though, But, Logan did well. If Logan did well, you come on and say Logan did well. But yeah, Mr. Logan did well. And we know election was not easy. There were a lot of discussion behind closed door, But again, for the sake of your community, you did what you did. Like my old man always say, for the sake of our peace. So we had to do what we had to do. So Mr. Peter Howard question. Mr. Howard, look, I don't care what we do or what we didn't do. If the association were running into millions, they will tell you, say, we ate millions. They will tell you, say, there were times the people say, I used their money at Boca or I used their 501c3 at Boca. One thing about finances have footprint, especially in the digital world we live today. It has footprint. This administration, again, they should do us the service to come out and quash some of these rumors that are going around. And I call on this administration, the financial secretary. She worked with us before. If she knew our corrupt person, she would know our corrupt person. She should go back, check her bank records, and come back to Liberian and tell Liberian, this is what we met, and this is what the administration level us. The documents are there. Until the administration starts speaking to fights and not allowing these rumors to fly around, these rumors will always exist. And this is why we are saying, look, we want an audit. So when that audit is on the book, laying down there, that also will serve as they will serve to clear our names. So anytime you say something, I got an audit report, I say, hey, this is the audit report. Look at it and see whether that only $8,000 we left for you in the bank. How will we leave $8,000 for you in the bank when you had an inaugural budget that exceeded the $8,000 that was left? So again, the rumors will always be there. So only audit can divide us, and the administrations will start coming up and start defending some of these things, because you know what? Today, tomorrow they'll go and some of these allegations will still be made against them too.
Thank you, Mr. President. So go ahead quick, Tutu, so I can bring Jeremiah in.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My one other thing that I wanted to say was as far as, you know, let me put credit where credit is due. Us as the young people, we came in mass because of Philip, because of Philip Logan. And we came because we wanted change. So us coming is not solely because of one party, it's because we fought. We fought for change. And we came in mass because we want those change. We want the adults, the elders to see us and see change. So us coming, we came on a standard that they wanted to see us, and we presented that standard. You understand? They put out a specific instruction, and we abide by that instruction, and we came in mass. We didn't come fighting in a form where they said, oh, we're coming to come and disturb. We came because we wanted peace. The peace that we were fighting for from the beginning was the peace that we stood by until after the inaugural ball. So again, if we can submit to say, okay, we want change, we want the same elders to look at us and give us that respect, give us that dignity to say, okay, let us work with them. We came to work with them. That's why we all showed up, and we show up so much because we want change. And I just hope that change continue. It does not stop at the ball. Okay.
Thank you so much, Tutu Makati. So I asked during the ball, I asked the former chairman of the EC specific questions, because I had this question I was asking members of the community as to the oppositions or those that opposed during the time coming up to celebrate with those in power, if that would bring change and if that would bring unity to the community. And Mr. Jeremiah Saleh, he answered that very well. I have two calls coming in, but before that, Mr. President, I want you to listen to this and tell me what you make of this.
Session, you join me on a session, and you start showing tar on people, but that's fair, but this is Mr. Jeremiah K. Saleh, the man who held this election. Though we from the other side, we bombarded him so hard, and he couldn't just accept that at times politics turns good friends into being rivals, but now the politics is over. The election is over. We are about to unite our community, and now we are being joined by our brother Jeremiah K. Saleh. Jeremiah K. Saleh is no more. How you doing, Pastor Willie? Jeremiah K. Saleh is no more the election commissioner chairperson. He is a community resident, and he's here to support his community. Mr. Saleh, how do you make of these activities today?
I want to say thank you to the Liberian in Indiana, and thanks to the many friends for attending this inaugural program. Essentially, that's the beauty of our politics. Not everything we do as commissioner was 100% right. Our judgment sometimes was off, but I think 80% being right with a vague constitution is essential. But overall, I want to say thanks to everybody, including you, Mr. Logan, for attending the inaugural program, because that is very essential for our democracy.
Okay, so Mr. Saleh, looking at now this current dispensation, you know, in time past, we know when people lose election, we don't see them anywhere again, they're going incommunicado. And now we are seeing a different breed of young people coming up in this community, see people who lose the election, and they are here jeering up to the activities and congratulating those who won the election, and even attending activities that have been planned by the current administration. So how do you see this new community that we are in now? Do you see the level of unity to be more stronger than the past, or what do you see now? And what do you see this community go for?
And that's the essence of our politics. When I was election commission chairman for previous elections, when we lost the election, we back up from inauguration. But when we see people who lost elections are participating and stay involved with the community, it means that our community is growing and we need people with different ideas to come on board and change the dynamics. Now, first of all, I want to say congratulations to you, Philip Logan, and your team, because this year shows a very unique path for our generation. Now look, regardless of our differences, regardless of our politics, we should be able to sit down and come together. At the end of the day, the interest is where you are.
Yeah.
It's nobody.
Yeah.
A single person cannot spearhead the activity of this community, regardless if you win from which side or which side. But we argue. It was a very tough elections. It was a Herculean task to conduct these elections. But at the end of the day, I'm proud to walk in here today with my heads up to see my colleagues that we disagree during the elections, but we all can mitigate to see our community forward.
That was the voice of Mr. Jeremiah K. Slay Sr.
It was a Herculean tax. And then I immediately body bug got to try with second B word. Mr. Tartee, are you there?
Yeah, unfortunately, the clips I didn't get it from my end. I didn't hear it from my end. So
Oh man, so
yeah,
that's sad. But anyway, I have the election. He's calling right now. He will soon be on. Then he will. The question to him was looking at the community currently, like what you made mention of. Okay, he's on right now. Okay, so go ahead, my dear brother.
This is Jeremiah Silly.
Yep, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. First of all, I want to commend the president for his exposition in studio today and for taking the time post inauguration to speak to the Liberian people in Indiana. That is very nice and generous of him. But there's some things I wanted to make some clarification when we asked the question of the president's struggle from the beginning of his tenure and to the end. I heard the president talking about people backing off on elections. You see, sometimes.
Go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
It is true that it has been like that in the community, but the president should also give for some of the reason why. You had the fair absolutely after the elections. You had to do your own work to get across to the other people. But when you win the elections and you feel that regardless of them, we can still run the community, that's what happened. And then what I saw the president did from the beginning was he surrounded himself with a lot of people who they have the community I have, but they don't have the implementation strategies. And that's the thing. They fail to implement, but they want the positions. So what they did was they sat down and said, "Oh, we can run it on our own." And then what I've noticed about Rufus Tartee, during his election, his time in leadership, that's when he started to learn on the job because he started making significant improvement all the way to the end. So when you see at the end of his tenure, a lot of people started getting involved. He started reaching out to people. After those he depended on have failed him miserably. They were just playing hanky-panky, playing big show. And now let me tell you, the problem with Liberian leadership is that we have this problem of implementing. We take people because of jobs, because they want a job, but they don't know how to execute. They don't know how to do a sitting job, but they want it because they are the president's friend. But Rufus make that quick transition at the end of his tenure to bring some young people, including myself. I came on. I'm not trying to brag, but nobody could think that I could spearhead elections like this. A lot of people say Jeremiah had temperament issue. He was not able, but Rufus, on the background, encouraged me. He did not interfere with the elections. I keep telling people this, that one of the ability, his administration never interfered with this election. He let us proceed so that any other trouble that we cause or any problem we have, it will be on our heads or in our hands. But he always cautions me that, look, you got to be strong, you got to be strong. So what he experienced in 3 years, he was not using it to encourage the young people to the end to let stay on it and do it. But that has been the problem, as Tutu Makati said, with the older people in this community. They underestimate the power of the young people so much. And we always used to say this, we can do it, just or we can do it. They underestimate the power of the young people so much to the extent they always put us on the side. But now, Paco is telling us that we can do it, and that's what we wanted.
That's why you see so many young people involved, because he's able to go to the elites and at the same time also come to the young people and find a level of equilibrium. So what he's doing now is that he's finding a level of politically level playing field so that we all can play and be able to compete and be able to do a good job. So, Mr. President, I want to tell you, thank you very much that you ended your tenure very well. I don't care what people say, you ended very well. Your beginning was rough. It was upside down. It was no here, no to. But I think what you have done is even tells me that you are very fluent and prepared to participate in the party politics in Bon County. Because I see that from the beginning you were dusty, but now you're a brand new person. So I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah Saleh. So, Mr. President, that's Jeremiah Saleh. Do you have anything to say about that before we go to Bon County?
You know, look, all of the success we're talking about today, whether it was the election, you know, people like Jeremiah, we need to say thank you to them. He suffered just like I suffered from the beginning. There were a lot of things said about him, you know, just a lot of things were said about me. By the end of the day, we knew that, you know, we couldn't, our community come first. So I was able to tap into his ability to help us transition our community. And he performed brilliantly. And so this success is not only achieved because of Rufus Tartee, but because of a young man like Jeremiah, like he said. You know, the young people are coming out, which is a good thing. And again, I said it. I want to say thanks to Parker. Parker is bringing a lot of young people. But like Jeremiah also commented, you know, I hope those people who are coming on board are willing to work, and they'll be able to work and not just take the position again, you know, and sit. So, look, I have never been, you know, impressed with my community than I've seen in recent times. You know, our people are coming out. Our people are, you know, energized. Our people want to work. They want to move this community forward, which is a good thing. This is what we are always hope for, unity, so that we can move our community forward. And so we hope, you know, that all of us that are coming on board to help this administration, you know, we come with sincerity, and we should be able to help to move our community forward.
So, Mr. President, I have a question that is in the comment section here. This question is from Mr. DP Pele, and he's saying, why is it that the 501c3 that was solicited on your regime was done in that family name and not yours? Can you please tell the community?
Because the family was the one who fought for it, who helped us so far. And I've said it over and over. Look, they think that somebody name on it. Tomorrow morning, the documents in the office, they can go whatever way they can change it and put it in LAI name or 55, you know, South State Avenue. They can do it. You know, I'm not going to go back and forth with one question with, you know, that the family name. We got a new administration. They should be asking how you going to get the family so that you can take over it. At least I want to keep it. I want to maintain it. We still have it. We didn't, like subsequent government have done. We have it. So the Parker administration, tomorrow morning or tonight, they can come over and say, this is the way we're going to go about it to get it. Then it's done. So the point is, I mean, if I want to see is there, in the family's name, nothing wrong with that, as far as I'm concerned. If anything happened to the president, I'm going to be held responsible. But I trusted him, and I trusted his ability to help us get it, and he got it for us. And I told him to maintain it for us.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go asking that the family have you filed. No, that responsibility, he took it seriously, and he had always filed our 501c4. So if this government want tomorrow morning, they can go get it and go downtown and change it. It ain't nothing big. It ain't something we got to be arguing about. We got new government now. So anything you want to change, you can change it right now.
Thank you so much, that the family, former President Rufus Tartee. So now we will exhaust the questions for the Indiana, and we'll go into Bon County. So, Mr. Tartee, currently we see you are in Bon County and you contesting for the representative position in Bon County. Can you care to tell about which district are you running in, and how far your process campaign about to start?
We'll be running in District 7. That will be in Bond County District 7. Uh, 2017 we're around. We made some marks. Again, we came. We were freshmen in the game. Um, like Jeremiah said, we're dusted. Now we have dusted ourselves. We have come back again for 2023. And so we have been engaging our people. We continue to engage. Uh, I was here just before the inauguration. I had to go back to attend the inaugural ball and came right back after the inaugural ball. So I was in the district this morning. I came back today. Um, we, my women and I have a foundation that we run, the Rufus Tartee Foundation. We gave scholarship to kids from grade 1, from kindergarten to 6th grade. And also we having a women empowerment program where we gave loan, a small micro loan out to women.
Mhm.
So what we did first, we came, she and I came and we studied what the economic activities of the district, and as well the people that live in the urban area like the Beaumont and where the mining company was, they gone now. So a lot of them, what they do, they just bring coal, and so there was always problem when we come. Please have me one money to buy 1 gallon gas, or please have me 2 gallon gas. So and why you buying the gas, what they go buying coal? So we decided that, look, why can't we form a cooperative among these women?
Mhm.
If you take 5 friends, um, you give them $10,000 each, and that would be $50,000. That
Mhm.
50,000, they can buy enough gas, they can buy enough wood to burn their coal, sell the coal, give that $50,000 back to us, and we'll give it to another 5 group of women. So we are doing that little, loaning thing. Um, that aspect of the program has not been too successful because the return rate is very slow. People are trying. The economy is not easy, and so sometimes people buying a car, it takes months before they can even get vehicles to can carry for them. So
Mhm.
but the educational aspect is going on well. We have a lot of kids in school. I think right now we have probably about 45 kids in school,
Wow.
which there are more. The request is there, but we don't have the financial means to help everybody. So we are trying. Probably in a not too far distance, we'll be coming to ask our people to help us in that direction. Because I can always say, in every society, education, is a bedrock. And I think the fundamental of every education is that kindergarten aspect. So what we were saying, look, if we can empower this woman to be able to feed her children, and
Mhm.
then two other children put them in school, that burden that you're taking from that family is helpful. So you go buy a coal instead of you taking $2,000-3,000 for them to go pay school fee.
Mhm.
That is also helping you to pay that child school fee. So that stress of putting a child out of school and all of that, you have overcome it. So this is why that foundation was established,
Mhm.
and we ended. But we are overwhelmed with the number of applications that came in, so we're only able to pick few, and those are the few that we're working on right now.
Thank you so much for that response, Mr. President. So I know when it comes to election campaigning to fund these things, it's not easy. And more or Liberia, where everybody just feel that if you're contesting for a specific positions, it means you have all of the fund. So specifically, how have you been able to fund your campaign? What's your main source of income generation?
Well, like I said, campaign have not started yet, but
Mhm.
we are being able to fund ourselves through uh, my wife and I, for our own personal income, and we
Mhm.
have, you know, just very, very, very few friends. And some of them donated, some people donated to me. They didn't want me to call their name and all of that. But one of them was on. He was very generous enough. He donated some funds to us. But it had just been my wife and our resources. And I can always tell people, I said, look, it's easy to go out there to ask people to donate to you. But you should be able to, when people give you that money, they should see the trail of that money. And I don't want to take people money, as a campaign contribution, and
Mhm.
then I don't have nothing on the ground, is we have no foot on the ground, nothing, and then you just go and ask people for their money. So when we coming back to people like you, Philip, or want to use your platform, we should be able to give people tangibles that we have done or what that we have achieved, and then we're asking them, that based on these things that we think we can do more, we're asking you to support us in this process, and then at the end of the day, we'll be able to bring more to our people. But we just don't. This is why the foundation was set up, and besides the foundation, there are other things we're working on right now as we speak. That one of the reasons tomorrow morning I'll be going back again to bomb mines to run from the government to go ahead, and so those are things that we're working on. So yes, we'll be asking campaign. I don't care how rich you are, you can't finance it by yourself. So we'll be coming on to ask people, but we want to have some tangibles on the ground so that when you're giving us your money, you'll know that we have some footing on the ground, or there are things that we have done to touch the lives of the people before you can even give us a dollar or cent to spend.
That's good. That's a fair one. But you served the Liberian community for 3 years, and this is your base. Do you intend to come back to the Liberian people and raise some funds from here before starting your campaign? Come in whatever time slated for campaign in Liberia?
Yeah, definitely. Matter of fact, I have friends of ours, close companions of ours, and they're asking, so ready to start a campaign thing now. When you want us to start? When you think we can start? So I keep telling them, I say, look, y'all gotta wait. You're going out there to ask for money or asking people for their money. You should have footing on the ground. You should be able to tell the people what are some of the things we have done, from our own pocket, and now we're asking them to help us so that we can do more, and stuff like that. So yes, people have come to us. They want to organize themselves to help us raise some funds, and definitely I will be coming back to my community and in asking them to help me raise some funds for our campaign. So like I said, when that time comes, your platform, we will also ask you to help us to use your platform to raise funds for us. But yes, we'll be coming back to our community for help.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tartee. So let's go into right now I know almost 1 o'clock you need to sleep. Let's just ask one of the critical political questions in Liberia that I know a lot of people will want to ask. So, Sarah. So, in Liberia right now, I know you left the Liberian people. You led this community for 3 years, and you are making your transition to Liberia and want to carry on the good services that you render to the Liberian people of Indiana. And the representative or lawmaking has 3 cardinal functions: lawmaking, oversight, and representation. What perceive that you carry into the Liberian people? What difference that you carry into the House of Representative that the person who in charge currently are not doing?
Okay, look, Philip, we grew up in a district that was rich. Yes, you have more poor people living there than the resources that they were extracting from there. One district, at the time, former was just a small district, 5 clients. One of the richest mines, the bomb mines, mineral were extracted from there, and you could see poverty at first hand. So people who live across the road in a camp, they were aware of, and the people who live on the other side of the road, and as we speak up to now, I think it is just probably a post-war Liberia that we have a government-owned high school. So all the minerals and all the riches they were getting from there, all the money, all the taxes that were being paid to government. Former never had a high school. So you graduate from the junior high school, that was the end of it. So if your parents did not work for the company, you couldn't, go forward in your education. And this is not only unique to former, it's unique to, most mining, towns or mining areas in our country. So what can we do to curtail some of these things so that the people can be direct beneficiary of these resources that are, being extracted from us? But it's just how we sign our concession agreement, how these, these mining laws or these mining agreements are made. You hear the farming issue, bad laws. Why is it that, government after government or lawmaker after lawmaker, these same mistakes, they continue to do it? I don't know, but these are some of the reasons we want to go there. That we will come from the mining area. Because when the mine is done, the people gone, there's nothing left for the people. No school, no clinic, no nothing. So we want to get in the house to make sure that these concession agreements that are even on the books right now, these are order to review. We want to see a good mining agreement signed between the people of our district, the government, and of course the mining companies, and so that our districts can benefit. Post-war Liberia, I thought we were going to invest more in vocational education. I come from a mining town again, like I said. When China Union came, they came with $6-point-something billion investment to get mechanics. They have to go outside of the district to get mechanics. To get carpenter, they have to go outside the district to get carpenter. I thought probably our government, by now was going to, have some vocational facilities, learning facilities in the district, so that they can prepare the youth. Today, tomorrow, when there's a company that comes, that brain drain, you don't have to go look for a driver outside in Kakata or go more, a mechanic, or a carpenter. You have carpenters right in the district, so that when these companies can be able to employ people. We want to look at vocational education. For some of our guys who are maybe 9 or 10 years old, when they're walking, some of them are 40 some more years old right now. You don't expect this guy to have gone to regular, conventional school. No, this man could lay blocks, So why can't we invest in vocational, education? And one thing I will also try to lobby my colleagues if I get in the house is to help to decentralize BWI. BWI have been sitting up the hills of Kakanta for many, many years, Why is it that, there's no BWI in the Yegepa area where it's a concession area? Why there's no BWI in the Bon Mines area? Those are concession area. BWI can be decentralized, and BWI was created by an act of legislature. So we can go there, visit those documents, and see if we can amend some of those laws so that we can decentralize BWI. BWI have contributed to the manpower development of this country for so many years. I think if we're decentralized, we're going to have more manpower development coming from the Booker Washington Institute over the years. So those are things that we'll be looking at when we get there. And the present lawmakers, a lot of our colleagues who are there right now, I don't think they are even thinking in that direction. So those are the little things that we want to take there. The bigger things will come later, but things that our people will benefit, those quick impact things that are not hard. I don't think any senator or representative from Lima County will say, let's try to amend the act that created BWI to decentralize BWI. I don't think we're going to have a lot of fight in the house, because those are things that all of us will benefit from if we do it. So those little things that we think we can reach across party line, those little things that we think will bring quick impact to our people, those are things that we want to be fighting for. Again, like my foundation is looking at there's a school fees issue. I was in a district this morning looking. You see kids, kindergarten children going to school. They're going to school hungry, literally hungry. But you have this building is standing on almost, 5, acres of land, and the whole bush behind there, not even one garden. There's a large plant like cassava, so that when the children come to school in the morning, we can close on cassava and get over there. I don't want to be personal, but your little daughter there, that girl open the fridge and look inside what she want to take, she take and eat it. But for many of our children here, they don't have that opportunity. When you're hungry, even when you're going home, you don't even know whether there's a meal there that day. Your mom, you're going to the farm, daddy going, look around or something. The school should be a haven where kids will be attracted to go to. The school should be a place that will meet some of the needs, the physical needs of our children, especially the elementary students. So these are just little things. The junior high school that I went to, it sits on 250 acres of land. But guess what? Now one cassava patch they got on that land. Now one cassava patch. So what are we doing? What happened to those agricultural programs that were instituted back in the troubled days in those schools? You know, why can't we bring those programs back so that at least we can plant our own cassava, our own potato for our children to eat when they come to school instead of going home hungry? Back in the the 70s, they used to have a burger wheat thing. That burger wheat program, because we're in those schools, kids were encouraged to go to school.
Yes,
People
true.
that because they want to go eat a little burger wheat or something. School feeding program is something that I think we'll be working on very hard, especially the elementary students, so that kids going to school should have a meal. At least that will help them to develop their minds when they are sitting in the classes. So those are simple things. I don't think we'll have you'll have a lot of objection to that. You know,
No,
when
that's
you,
brilliant. That's brilliant.
those
Yeah.
that's the things that we'll be looking at, and we hope that our people will give us the opportunity, to serve them.
Yeah, we hoping and praying too. So, Mr. Jeremiah, so let's ask a question. We'll take this question as our last question, then you will just ask you for your parting. So, his question here, he said, other than the financial support, do you intend to use some of the strong guys in Indiana to help with your campaign?
Yeah, campaigning is yes, and campaigning is always a voluntary thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will be back probably in 2 weeks when I come by here. These are conversations I'm going to be holding, with our intellectuals. You got these militant.
Mm-hmm.
I is one of them. We will be holding conversation with them. We will ask them to come on board. People like you who have a platform, we're trying to make use of those platforms and see, what support we can also get, when it comes to, yes, of course, manpower, to help us in the process. Because nobody best can speak for us than you, the people of Indiana, especially,
Mm-hmm.
who perform and who knows what we're capable of doing. Yes, but we'll really be asking for volunteers, we're looking for volunteers. So anybody who really want to help us, whether it is financial or manpower, propaganda, whatever it is, just let me know. Sooner or later, there will be a team that will be on the ground putting things for us. Because I will spend more time in Liberia than I will spend in the States.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. President. So, I know you after one in Liberia, so we can keep you off for too long. So we just
I
ask. Uh-huh.
said American time, so don't worry.
You said what's the time? You
I
said you
said
said
dealing with
American time. Yeah, because you're always there, you're always in and out. So yeah, I think the people following they are satisfied with all of your responses, ranging from the Liberian community back to Liberia. I see no two more questions coming, so I think they are following, and we look forward to getting involved with the discussions and see how we can help wherever way possible in Bon County. And my regards to the people from Welcome, Pikafa Mission, Munikole, Bobo, Gonswatan, and all these places. I've been to all these places. I was fortunate enough to pass through that side just at least for I think 5 or 4 months during the war. And those are great people living over there, especially in the area called Gonswatan. My uncle, one of my uncles, he had to introduce making slipper from the tree, and we
Hmm.
supply slipper to all the people in the rural side because they were walking on the ground, jika all in their toes, and that's how the people live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mr. President, I want to say thank you so much, and thanks for also coming a game on the Logan's Hour. You make this show as well, and the community appreciate you so much. So we will just give you the time now to give your parting. And since you left office, this is your first appearance in the community, and maybe you want to send thank you or appreciation message to all of those who serve for you during your term. So the time is here, Mr. President. You can go ahead with your parting.
All right. Thank you so much for the again, for giving us the opportunity to appear on your platform. The logging hours, like you said, we all started it. We didn't know where it is today. Sometimes I go see your viewers. You got thousands now, thousands and thousands of views, which is a good thing. And these are some of the things that our community now can boast of. I see all the announcements coming on your show. The car dealers are coming, the businesses are coming, business people are coming, birthdays, greetings, and all of that. Thank you very much for the show. You know, I believe in service, and because I believe in service, I appreciate people who serve. And so I think if you are at a program, few of my people that stood the test of time with us, we had to recognize them. Some in the near future will be recommending also for them to be recognized, because I couldn't do everything. I left some hoping that probably, this new government, going forward, maybe they too, when they close, will do similar thing like that. The kind of thing our board members go through when it comes to elections and all of that. The men and women, stood there for us. And like I said the other day, people sometimes they don't look at the institutions, they look at the individuals, and this is why I'm trying to dismiss this whole idea that, the person that fully person, he can't be this, or the person that this, he can't be that. But when this person is being elected to that position, and so even if you don't respect Rufus Tartee, but that institution should be respected. And so this is why we decided to make these, drips and say, look, if you look at this, today is only board member. It is not the individual that is in it. We didn't say Mr. Initial George, board member. No, we said the board. That institution should be respected. And so subsequent training over ceremonies, board will take him to the next group of people to how they call it, to symbolize that institution for which they want to serve. And then I also, know that in due times, people get to forget about people. Leaders, people who are sacrificed for their community, people tend to forget about them. Sometimes when you say, but who are the first presidents that people crying now? But I will say, and you can't blame people. You came in the community maybe 10 years now. People were there long before you were there. And so you will not remember what happened 10 years before you got there.
It's true.
So it is now. So we also wanted to make sure that, look, our past leaders should always be remembered. So we made that plaque, and I hope the leadership will post it in their office or wherever they can post it, so that our past leaders will always be remembered. When you see it, you'll know who was the first president for your association. You'll know who is the current president, for our children that will follow us in the future to know things. So we did that. That's something historical that we made and we left there. And so that's the only way I can honor all of the past leaders, making sure that their name is engraved on us. That would be put everybody past you to be able to see it. So again, we did similarly for the board. The board will leave today. At least they have something in their houses. They will put up there and say, you know what? I served one time as a board member, so people or history will remember them. And some of the people that serve with us, you saw during the ceremony we did. I just want to say thank you to everybody. People, you didn't do it for pay. There was sleepless night, especially my vice president. Single mother with a teenager. She always had to be driving almost 30 minutes every now and then. And my administration was saying that every now and then our meeting. Monday morning, I said, maybe we'll send an announcement on Wednesday. We'll be meeting, The president again, I said, yes, that lady have to drive and come. Even with my daughter too, teenager too, it wasn't an easy thing for them. Into whatever, in the chat room or community members, what they threw at us and all of that. But again, especially to my wife, that lady is amazing.
She's a comforter.
To me, through the tough times, and she was always there. She's always there. There have been nothing that I've always decided to do, and my wife said no to me. Even right now, I'm in Liberia, fully supportive of everything that I'm doing. She's involved. And so I just want to say thank you to her. It was never a mistake to have her as my wife. And I love her and I'll continue to love her. And to my community, I love Indiana. It's done so much for us. My daughter was born there. She's 16 now. All of you saw her growing up. I don't want to have anybody. My doors are open. They are always been open. Our community is growing. We have to be considerate of other people. Yes, and now, people coming from all over, coming now. Our community is not like that unique community we have where everybody knew, everybody know. So sometimes you see some people, they say, the Liberians say, oh, how long you been here? I've been here 5 years. But 5 years, we didn't see you here. That's how big our community is.
Yeah.
So let's continue to love each other. Let's continue to interact. Let's continue to, work for our community. Let's continue to make a community that we all want to live and be. So again, Mr. Logan, I want to say thank you to you and thank you to everybody who were there for us, who supported this administration, and to the current administration. You have my ears, you have my eyes. Call me if you need me. Let me know what I can do. We'll keep engaged, keep involved to make sure that you are successful.
Thank you so much, Mr. Former President. We look forward to seeing you when you return from Liberia.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. So thank you again for being on the Logan's Hour. We're just going to take this short commercial. Let me say we're going to take this short break and be right back. All right, so I want to say to our former president, Mr. Rufus Tartee, thank you again for coming on the Logan's Hour. Today was a real great interaction with the former president, and we want to say to all of our many followers who are here tonight: Bernie Alpha, MacArthur D, Richard Boya, Ezekiel Delba, Jeremiah Chia, Eugene Dosua, Tito Harris, Sis Isabella, my dear brother Pele, and Vela Duo, and all of you who joined this conversation tonight. There are tons of you that I can just name everybody right now. Tutu McCarthy, Logan, our princess, Titi Banks, Fatih Famule, I said Tali Volker, Peter Howard, Prince Bono. There's just so many that I can name everybody. Want to say we're really truly appreciate you people. And don't forget, come Thursday, can hear the tough talking. And you're going to see people like Tony Giflo. You're going to see the tough talking Jan Volule. You're going to see Mr. Roland Akwe. You're going to see Mr. Ernest Samuel. You're going to see Mr. Morris Guo. You're going to see Mr. Jeremiah Chie. You're going to see Mr. Levitus Moba. You're going to see Miss Brenny Afa. And you're going to see the tough talking Savannah Pele. So look forward to seeing all of you on Thursday. Thursday promised to be very great. And again, before we close, we want to say congratulations to Mr. Hoti Pamo, Fatima Famule, Rawa Kiri, Mr. Richard Boya, and Mr. Julius Parker. We want to say you people need to serve with dignity. And to my own Oma Kolumo, happy to see that you have fun on the inauguration. And to my own Pape, Mr. Tomo Wula, it was nice meeting you. Though we can rise up, we can get up, we can fall down, but we share this space together. I appreciate you so much. And Mr. Duo and his beautiful wife are at the program. It's well seated, and we have fun. And Thursday, don't miss the show. Thursday going to be great. And before we leave, we're just going to play you just one more interview. Then we will.
Coming up, when we listened to Mr. Rawakiri the other day on the show, he said over 100 people have purchased VIP tickets.
Oh, wow.
So it means the ordinary people, if they show up today, we're going to have a mass stand-up. What do you make of this day today? It's a historic day, though.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I hope everything goes well. I'm sure the committee members have worked hard. You know, all of us are here to support. I hope we all have a good time and we get inspired to keep up this community.
So looking at the community, in time past, opposing camp after election, they are nowhere to be seen. And now this new dispensation, we are seeing different kind of politicking. After election, we see the losing camp is here celebrating with the winning camp. What do you see the community go for here? Do you think we are on a path of unity? Or what's going on?
I think this is lovely to see. I think it takes a lot, as a person to come and really be unbiased and just come to celebrate the opposing person. I think that shows a lot of courage, a lot of overall commitment to the community and not to self. So I commend you. I commend everybody on your team that, wanted to, the roles that they went for. There is time. There is always room for more people to do the work. You don't have to have the title to be for the people, And so I'm just really happy to be here, see this, be a part of history, like you said.
Thank you so much, Juma.
Of the Liberian community, Mr. Richie Boya. Mr. Richie Boya, I can see from your face, I can see the excitement. I can see whether you will be laughing. I couldn't see your job until now. I can see your job now. How do you feel about your day today, my dear brother?
I feel so good. I feel so proud of my achievement.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here today.
Today is a historic movement. It's just once in a blue moon, we see that the whole community coming up to embrace certain activities, looking at how this election at a certain point went so tense, and now all the camps that were a partner coming together and embracing everything that happened in this community. How do you see this community now? Do you think we are on a part of unity?
I must say, yes, we are definitely on a part of unity. You can see for yourself. You are here. You are one of the major stakeholders in this election. You being here today also shows a clear indication that we are together. And I will say, the community is not divided. It's just that we disagree on a lot of issues. We have to respect each other's view, in terms of politics. But the community is united, and I can see the spirit.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that was the Vice President of the Liberian Association of Indiana, Mr. Richard Boya. So we want to say to all of you following us tonight, I want to say thank you. It was a great one to be here serving you. It was a pleasing pleasure. My name is Philip Logan. I look forward to seeing you again on a very hot show on Thursday with all of the people who you saw on the flyer. Thursday show going to be so great. So I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. So until we meet again, we want to say